Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about Form 1098E Student Loan Interest Statement. Form 1098E reports the amount of interest you paid on your student loans in a calendar year. You may be eligible to deduct the entire interest you paid on your student loans on your taxes. Borrowers get a copy of this form, so does the IRS. Loan servicers must send a 1098E to anyone who pays more than $600 as in student loan interest, and they generally must send the forms out by the end of the January. If you have outstanding loans with more than one servicer, you may receive multiple of 1098E forms, and if you pay less than $600 as interest loan, you might not receive the forms. You use the form 1098 to figure your student loan interest deduction. You can deduct up to $2,500 worth of student loan interest from your taxable income as long as you meet the certain conditions. The conditions are: number 1, the interest was your legal obligation to pay, not someone else. Your filing status is not married filing separately. Your income is below the annual limit. Number 4, neither you nor your spouse, if you are filing a joint return, is claimed as a dependent on anyone else's tax return. Eligibility for the student loan interest deduction is based on your modified adjusted gross income. This is a number you calculate when you fill out your tax return. Your deduction is reduced or eliminated at higher income brackets. As of the 2020 tax year, for single taxpayer, the deduction is reduced once you have $70,000 of modified adjusted gross income and eliminated at $85,000. For married taxpayer, the deduction is reduced to at $140,000 of modified gross adjusted income and eliminated at $170,000. Now we will discuss each and every line of the form, then we will show it in our software Drake how it works. So basically, line number 1 is the student loan interest amount which you paid during the tax year, say $2,000. But instead of $2,000, if you report $6,000, it will only deduct up to $2,500 during the tax year for 2020. Always remember. And if the box 2, if checked, box 1 does not include loan origination fees or capitalized interest for loans made before September 1st, 2004. An origination pay is typically a percentage of your loan that's withheld from the disbursed fund. You can include a portion of this fee as deductible interest. Dividing the origination fee by the number of years you have to pay off the loan gives you the amount you can treat as student loan interest each year. And if the lender capitalized increase the principal loan balance for unpaid accrued interest, you calculate the portion that's deductible each year in the same way as the origination fee. So guys, remember this. And in the left side of the form you can see the recipient or lender's name, address, recipient tax identification number, borrower's tax identification number, borrower's name, borrower's address, and account number. So guys, let's report this student loan interest in our software Drake, and let's see what happens after that. So it is our software Drake, and type 1009E student loan interest form. So this pop-up will come and you have to click on load screen. Here you can see 1098E this is basically a adjustment, so you have to click here. You can see schedule 1 part 2 adjustment to income. Guys, we know schedule 1 is for additional income is the first part and part 2 is the adjustment to income. So here line number 20, student loan interest deduction. We have to report $2,000 here, control B. Now come to schedule 1, line number 20, student loan interest deduction $2,000. Okay. Also, you can see a worksheet of modified the adjusted gross income has generated. You can see the amount is $85,050, and since they are filing joint return, so it hasn't phased out for 1098E student loan interest statement. Guys, let's do some experiment with this form. Instead of 2000, if we report $6,000, then what will happen? Go to schedule and check. See, student loan interest deduction is 2,500. As I have already discussed, that maximum up to $2,500 you can deduct for your student loan interest. So whatever after or more than $2,500 you report, it will deduct up to $2,500 only for 2020 tax year. So always remember, guys, this part, this is a quite tricky. So I'm changing it to $2,000 as we had in the form. Here $2,000, so that's why I'm reporting $2,000. And again check. Here you can see student loan interest $2,000. This is a deduction which will reduce the taxable income of the taxpayer. Total comes to 7,995, and it will reduce the adjusted gross income. So guys, let's repeat what I have discussed in this video. So basically 1098E reports the amount of interest you paid on your student loans in a calendar year. You may be eligible to deduct the interest you paid on your student loan on your taxes. Borrowers get a copy of this form, and so does the IRS. Loan servicers must send a 1098E to anyone who pays more than $600 as student loan interest, and they generally must send the forms out by the end of the January. If you have outstanding loans with more than one servicer, you may receive multiple 1098E forms, and if you pay less than $600 in interest, you might not receive the form. You use the form 1098E to figure your student loan interest deduction. You can deduct up to $2,500 worth of student loan interest from your taxable income as long as you meet the certain conditions or criteria. The conditions are: number 1, the interest was your legal obligation to pay, not someone else. Your filing status is not married filing separately. Your income is below the annual limit. Neither you nor your spouse, if you are filing joint return, is claimed as a dependent on anyone else's tax return. Eligibility for student loan interest deduction is based on your modified adjusted gross income. This is a number you calculate when you fill out your tax return. Your deduction is reduced or eliminated at higher income brackets. As of 2020 tax year, for single taxpayer, the deduction is reduced once you have $70,000 of modified adjusted gross income and eliminated at $85,000. For married taxpayer, the deduction is reduced at $140,000 of MAGI and eliminated at $170,000. Guys, one thing I would like to discuss, that you can see there are multiple forms like copy A, this is for IRS use only, copy B for borrower's use, copy C for recipient's use. So these are the different forms which are available on IRS website. You just have to download and fill out those forms as per your requirement. So I believe you have understood Form 1098D. Goodbye.